So, hey guys, Dante here, and welcome back to my channel, The Burger Thought. And once again, welcome to Inktober here on Twitch. So this was yesterday's piece, which was Rodent. Today's piece is called Fancy on October 7th. I was struggling with this because there are many things that may be fancy, but I couldn't think of how to incorporate it into our mad scientist or evil lab theme. Mad scientist, evil lab, I don't know, makeup company, whatever you want to call it. And it took a while, but I think I finally got an idea that I'm happy with so far. So let's see how it comes out. So we start with what is the second most important part of the human body, the brain. You ask, what is the first part? I say, it's the heart, obviously. It's, it's very romantic. Either that or I'm just thinking about the original Spider-Man movie. The heart, Osborn, the heart. One of the freaking greatest stupid lines ever. Let's see. So the brain is going to be sitting in a jar. Nothing new. Nothing we haven't seen before, but we want a little twist on this. Remember, the theme is fancy, so what's going to be fancy about it? That's the question. This brain is technically not well taken care of. It's partly sticking out the water. No, I did not mess up my proportions. Obviously, I didn't. The brain is meant to be sticking out the water partly. I'm going to give it all All the little twisties and turnsies, little wrinkly bits. Now, you can't do a brain in a jar without talking about the iconic horror movie of all time. That's right, Young Frankenstein. Uh, Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks is one of my spirit animals. I love that man. His sense of like silly, stupid humor is something I strive to like achieve, because it's just I don't know, I love his humor, and Young Frankenstein is a perfect example of like just his genius, of like his odd genius. And of course, I'm talking about Young Frankenstein because of the famous line, Abby someone, when Igor gets sent to retrieve a brain, and he retrieves the wrong one. And they ask him, well, what was the name of the jar? And he goes, Abby someone. It's gonna be a pretty simple drawing. Just gotta get the shading right. I'm doing like translucent through a liquid and an object in the liquid. Got my reference right here. Put it on the Ritz. Now luckily, since the hat's going to be black anyway, I don't mind all this overlapping. When I go to shade it, it should be fine. Speaking of which, let's go in there right now. Maybe some light coming from this way. The real issue is, man, there's a lot of wrinkles. So shading those wrinkles in a way where it doesn't lose all the detail. Bit of a trick. I don't know if I mentioned it in this stream. I probably mentioned it in like previous videos. Separate from all this, I'm a huge fan of, I think it's Brenton Santiago, I think his name is. I gotta double check his name. But the work of the comic Irma. Irma is a fun comic, it is a lighthearted comic, and it is all done in black and white. I believe like the majority of it is traditional drawing. So I need to So whenever I see his work, and Irma's just a cute comic in general. This is a fancy, fancy hat. It's a black tie event. There's gonna be a guest speaker and everything, so one must look their best. So right now I'm just giving this all one stroke of shading, just straight lines all around. And then I'll go heavier to really give like I want the actual shading, because right now these lines are just to essentially indicate that it's a black hat and a black bow tie. So I'm just kind of filling it up. I'm coloring it without coloring it. That makes sense. Hey Orc, how's it going? Oh, thank you for dropping by for the split second. Always good to have someone in the chat. Like I said, I'll probably do a heavy blackout for the hat to hide all the artwork that's inside of it. Like this freaking line right here in the rim. Okay, so light's still coming this way, so let us just do the 0.5. Let's really darken the backside of the tie. Because the light's not even looking at this side. Here we go. I keep saying I'm going to put these on YouTube, but since I'm still learning my editing program, my new editing program, I'm having trouble just doing the basics. I could just flat up upload them and that's it. But I really want to, let me switch to a thicker pen. I really want to just at least, do what I usually do, an intro and outro, etc. I could stick with my old laptop and just get it done with and put it up, but I need to learn the program, so I'm gonna stick with it for a bit. Okay, tie's looking good so far. I don't know if that came across on the mic. There was a pop noise that came from my kitchen. I hate when that happens. I have like a recycling bin. So every so often, like a plastic bottle in there just kind of like shifts. And it's nothing worse than being alone in your house. Suddenly you hear this popping noise in the distance. You're like, what was that? Okay, let's digging up the lines. Not the shading lines, just the wrinkly lines on the brain. Help define them separate. Help to define them, there we go, separate from the shading. If I was a true professional, the shading would do it for me. But if I'm a true professional, then the world is doomed. Okay, you have to rewrite the dictionary to define what the hell professional means. That looks better. Now for the hat. The hat's going to be a complete pain in the butt, but we do what we must. We do what we must because we can. Dead. Never actually played Portal. But I always heard really good things about just how somewhat morbid that game was. My hand is killing me from work. I use machinery at my job that requires constantly squeezing like a bike handle, if you would, and I get this nasty red line right down the palm, and it just weakens my everything feels weak, especially when the machines have not been properly adjusted, and you're just constantly doing this. So yeah, it kind of sucks right now. But I do this because I love it. I do this because it forces me to stay on a schedule. I do this for all you lovelies who may be watching this in the future. I see some professional artists. I say professional, but I'm talking these are people who might be in the field, but in truth, I know them through their online stuff. These are people who do stuff online which is technically for free. They give it out for free. Who manage to stay on a tight schedule, and I respect that. Almost all the comics I read are free online because they're usually written and produced all by one person, so you know what you're gonna get. They're not gonna change editors or writers or whatever, or artists, like American comics tend to do at some point. And once you find a comic you like online, unless the person doing the comic goes through a major change in their life, you stick with it. And there's some I've seen who just they pump out high quality material on a weekly and in some cases even daily basis. I'm gonna have to turn this a bit just because I need to get this perfect little curve right here. There we go. I think there was the story of a famous artist who was challenged to draw a perfect circle freehand, and he did, and that's how they knew he was the greatest artist in the world. I wish to meet this man and ask him his secrets, and if he does not give me the secrets willingly, I shall take it by force. Before this started, I did a quick Google search. What's the brain look like? And I got the general shape, the lobes, the sub lobes on the side, I guess you want to call them. I don't know what they're called. The medulla oblongata. But yeah, I should have better memorized the wrinkles and how the wrinkles look. Because once again, I could put it on my secondary device, but if I do that, the chat kind of resets, and it won't let me keep up with the chat for some reason. All right, and yes, once again, you kind of see this line right here, but doesn't bother me too much. I mean, once again, you do what we must because we can. Before I sat down to do this, I noticed the Nostalgia Critic went ahead and uploaded a video regarding Lost Boys. Now I know some people, due to past events, have jumped off the channel Awesome fan boat, and I understand and I respect that completely. But every so often, I still tune into him because I like his work. I like the silly comedy he does once in a while. But anyway, yeah, Lost Boys was among my cousins, it was Lost Boys and Goonies. That was their jam. My cousins are only slightly older than I am, not by much. But I remember my cousins loved that movie, and for good reason. You know what? That's we're gonna be a little silly. we're gonna go ahead, put a cigar right here. Because he's a gentleman. He's a gentleman smoker. It goes cigarette, which is really, really, really low tier. Then it goes cigar, which is like classy. Then it goes like old man pipe, which is like classy plus. I do not smoke. I do not suggest anyone out there smoke. But when you're trying to portray the levels of class a gentleman may have, those are the levels. Little wisps of smoke. Wisp was like one of the other ones that were one of the other prompts we had. That's a bit better. Chat's pretty quiet today. As always, I appreciate when people tune in. But my regulars aren't here today. I cannot expect them to be here every day. I miss my regulars. I noticed that I reached 10 subscribers. Not bad for my first 2 weeks in. Granted, many of them are friends or friends of friends, but still, I appreciate every last one of them. I think that'll do it. Not my best work. The hat looks like garbage. In truth, I like the brain and the bow tie more than anything else. The hat could have been much better, but not bad. Kind of want to hold on. Let's put some bubbles in there. There we go. So, Inktober 2020, as we always do. This is the 7th, and we are looking at fancy. Get a bit of a close shot of that. And as always, on the off to the right side of the screen, you see my other social medias, Twitter, Instagram, and DeviantArt, where you will see the still images of these. Be sure to like or follow them there. And as my phone suddenly gets a bunch of text messages, once again, guys, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the future. Later.